drunken level height. That's like
What?
where I'm always at. Anyway, welcome to
Oh,
the Glacially Musical Podcast. It is beer, metal, swearing with a side of vinyl, a ghost cult joint. Of course, I am Nick Cameron, the host of the Glacially Musical Podcast, joined by my good friend, the heartbreaker himself, Don de la Bressure de Cour, the Ragin' Cajun. And of course, always ready with his pinky winky, Keefy Chincharones. How we doing today, buddies?
I mean, I like chicharrones. I'm really it's hard to eat now with my teeth in disrepair, but they're enjoyable.
Hey,
Any
everybody.
pork product, basically, I'll take.
I don't like the real ones. When I was on my Minnesota trip, I got like some. It was like Henderson's Farm authentic chicharrones, and I'm like, "There's no way Henderson's Farm is authentic." But I'll be damned, it was authentic. I don't like the authentic ones. I want it to where it tastes like popcorn.
that's what I was gonna ask you. What is the difference?
Oh, a pork
what was
rind
the
is the American version. A
correct? Yeah.
chicharrone is actually got like pork meat in the skin.
Oh man, so it's kind of like a bone marrow.
Yeah, it tastes weird to me. But anyway, thank you all for joining us this week for the episode on Heart, Little Queen, which my wife was dancing to earlier today, right before she told me to turn it down. Here's how we do this. Of course, we have the beer check, vinyl check, shirt news check, shirt check, meat of the episode. The Glacially Musical Beer of the Week is a double IPA. Asked lawyer wife to get me some classy beer at the Whole Foods, the whole paycheck. And what she came home with was Cigar City Brewing, Florida Man. 9%.
Florida man. Nice.
Just going to go ahead so everybody can see the color of the foam. And in case you're worried that I won't have enough beer, don't worry. I got a second one.
Double fisting.
What you got, Don?
So I have a tummy issue also. So I am actually hydrating today. But in my mini fridge in back, I do have some Hopsecutioner.
You were supposed to drink that today. Man up.
Dude, if I drink it, I'll be shitting for Keefy. I can only shit for so many people.
I don't think you can call in a pinch shitter. I don't think that's
Sure
a thing.
you
Well
can.
played, sir. Well played. Stunt cock, stunt shitter. I think it's a thing. We'll make it a thing.
Pinch shitter. All right, pinch shitter. Pinch
shitter,
shitter
yeah,
coming in.
So water with an what do you call it? A hydration packet in it. So
You know you're old when you're excited about new sneakers or hydration packets. Holy fuck.
dude, these hydration packets are killer, man. It tastes like lemonade.
They will save your life.
Yes.
Hydrate, bitch. Nick, was your beer, before I go on to my drink check, is your beer in tribute to the Stanley Cup Finals?
One, we're in the conference finals.
Oh, sorry.
Two, I'm drinking out of my Football Hall of Fame glass. Three,
Have you been there? You don't
No,
even
I
like
haven't.
NFL football. What the fuck?
yeah, I do. I just can't support it.
You fucking...
Okay, so educate me here. How do you like it, but you can't sub?
This album has no good songs. 10 of 10.
I like the sport. I love watching the highest level. They play a style that I enjoy more than the UFL.
Mhm.
However, being as the NFL has screwed over my city twice, I cannot be there. I cannot be eyeballs for them.
Your city
I just
wasn't
can't do it.
at all culpable. It's just always the NFL's fault. It's always billionaires' faults. It kind of is, but
Yeah, that's why
Don is trying not to shit himself with laughter over there.
That's why the NFL
It
paid us
hurts.
nearly $1 billion in a legal settlement.
Well, they don't pay any taxes because all their things are run as a nonprofit, which is like almost the most criminal fucking thing ever.
Because
Are
they
you
could
fucking
not.
kidding?
I'm not kidding. No sports
league-
team pays taxes.
The
Ever.
team, no, the teams do, and the NFL does because you can't. They make too much money.
They're all a nonprofit through their
but
charitable foundations.
the NFL could not get the subpoenas thrown out for the interoffice memos and meetings about the St. Louis relocation.
Maybe.
So basically, the NFL realized, oh crap, we can no longer hide that we broke our own rules to get St. Louis out of there to get somebody back into Los Angeles.
That was a hell of a sidebar. Hey, you know what I'm drinking?
Wow.
Liquid Death.
You started
Murder your
it.
thirst. Eat your own butt.
No, I just pooped.
That was a great
Bunch of solid salad tossers up in here, man. Cheers, everybody.
You know what they make you do in county? Toss the salad.
Toss the salad.
syrup or jelly. I prefer syrup. You know, Chris
I
Rock.
prefer syrup.
Chris Rock got the shit slapped out of him on international TV, but honestly, he might be one of the best ever do. Why am I still wearing my glasses? Fuck.
Yeah. It's the toss salad man.
Toss salad.
All righty, let's.
Toss salad man.
Hey, gentlemen, we got a late start, so let's get an early finish.
No, it never happens. Go ahead.
No,
it's got to happen this time. My child is presently at her first school dance, and tomorrow she graduates middle school. So,
crazy.
Anywho, I can't remember if I checked this or not. I feel like I did. Pantera reinventing the steel. I don't remember.
One of the single worst album covers.
Yeah, but the
Ever.
album, I had actually never listened to it until I bought this, and it's a lot better than I thought. And this is a cool repress, like a lemonade swirl.
Still better. Oh, I like the, is that the Electra label on there?
Yes, it is. That's the Electra
original
label.
Electra label.
Classic.
Love it.
Yeah.
That album cover is still better than any AI artwork.
It's also better than the original Pantera Far Beyond Driven album artwork.
No, that's my favorite album artwork.
Really? That's the one with the drill going in the bung.
Yeah.
All right.
I like to think of it as your bunghole.
That's unfortunate. Anywho, moving on.
For me, when my eyes are closed.
Next record, Mott the Hoople, All the Young Dudes. I got the first one over at the Joe's Records on their fancy sale, which is still going on, for the princely sum of like $15. I got this one for 99 cents. So, and because I'm not sure if I checked Pantera. Uh-oh.
Don't injure a cat.
At present, there are no cats.
Was that you, Keith, that did that? Did you now? Okay.
I was worried that my record had fallen into the for sale records. So my third record of the week is
is that Triple Live Mother Goose?
Triple Live Mother Goose at Budokan. This is a Record Store Day release. So one of my many, many Record Store Day releases I did not get on Record Store Day. It is a glow-in-the-dark vinyl. It's my second or third glow-in-the-dark, and I have never actually seen one glow-in-the-dark because that just seems dumb.
You obviously aren't a stoner, Nick.
Here's something interesting. This is not a Y. This is an O.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Nick, never high Cameron.
Nick, straight Cameron.
May I continue? Uninterrupted. Thank you,
Yes,
theology scholars. Sanctity of my check. It says censored because it's an O. They didn't actually like make new artwork. They just redid it, which I love that. And just for the record, it's not green jelly. It was never green jelly. The Y is pronounced like an O.
Like an O.
In their lore, there's still green Jello. It's just spelled differently now. That's my vinyl check. What you got, Don?
So a little bit of break-in right here. I got to see Green Jello twice. The one time I have to say was the only time I've ever seen a band blow Testament away. And it was not the best of times for Testament at the time though. So, but Green Jello was absolutely amazing. Love those guys. And this was late to the game last week, but I got my Live at Pompeii album and I finally opened it and gave it a listen. And I am not kidding. I'm sure you guys are going to sing the praises on this too. First off, it's perfectly timed side to side. Like it is like a perfect running time on each side of the album. And then the sound is immaculate. I listened to it probably twice in one night. And
I still haven't listened to side 4, the extra cuts.
Oh, the extra cuts are fantastic.
Okay, I don't care.
I'd never heard of them, but someone told me that they might have been on a bootleg at one time or something.
I'm sure they were. They were alternate versions of the songs because they did the concert like what 8 or 9 times over the course of a day.
Yeah, and they said that they were on a bootleg, but that they were actually official. They just were never actually like released. So, and they're here in all their glory. Brilliant, beautiful album. Trust me, people, go buy that one. So, yep. So that's it. Pink Floyd, Live at Pompeii. That's all I have this week.
Alrighty.
I yield my time.
Yield back your time. I also like Nick, maybe you can help me. I've have many Witch Mountain albums. I don't know if I checked this one. I do love the band in all their incarnations. This is the self-titled reissue of Witch Mountain, self-titled on Svart Records. Not a fancy vinyl, but beautiful artwork.
I've never seen that artwork. You did not check that.
So I have not checked it yet. This is the record. So this is after Uda, their former original, or one of their original singers, left the band for a hiatus, and they worked with the singer from Dress the Dead, who is incredible, and really
she's fantastic.
She's so good, it's insane. But yeah, Witch Mountain, and then they've kind of briefly reunited with Uda for like a glory tour for 25 years of a band, and then now kind of not sure what the status is, but Svart Records always does a nice job on the vinyl. It's just this happens to not be a fancy one. Did come in the mylar, came in a mylar.
I come in mylar too.
I come in mylar.
Okay, new shirts coming, guys. I come in mylar.
New shirts coming. That was a triple entendre.
New shirts coming. Oh man, I am slow today.
New shirts coming in, going hard. Quadruple entendre.
If you've got a slow drip, you should see a doctor or medical professional. Pursuant to Nick's interest in this check, this is an OG old school repress of an early Cattle Decapitation album, Homivore. Sorry. This is out on 31G. This is from before Cattle Decapitation signed to Metal Blade Records and became the international death metal grindcore success we know. That's much more raw back then. Raw, like their human meat that they like. You know that Cattle Decapitation are like militant vegans who sing about the end of humanity because of eating meat, which is
their carcass that didn't sell out.
Their carcass that didn't. And you love Carcass because you look like Jeff Walker.
Enslephrium of the Ensilabaceous.
Look, if you watch the documentary, they will say, yeah, there was a pretty girl and we ate lasagna with cheese in it.
So the front cover, pretty gruesome. It is a double gatefold for only one vinyl, but look at this.
Is that a horse head?
It is a hog.
Oh, a hog.
In a slaughterhouse.
That's a dinner.
That is
that looks like it looks delicious.
It looks like lechon, and I'm going for it.
I'm sorry, I'm really insensitive to this because I fucking love barbecue.
I know.
So do I.
So let's just for a let's just take a sampling. It comes with an inner sleeve with an early photo. And, their original drummer, Gabe Serbian, died. He was in a bunch of other bands.
Hang on. Is he the short-haired one?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Because Carcass's drummer was short-haired, too.
That's also true.
Yeah, he was the only guy in the band that actually looked like he was, like, in college or, like, had a job.
Or actually looked like a vegan.
So let's just sample these lyrics of the song "Carnal Fecophilia Due to Prolonged Exposure to Methane." Rotting meat, a tasty midnight snack, freshly decomposed, slurping the slop that's still in the ass, proceeding to siphon the carnage. You get the picture. Now this vinyl,
I dry aged steak.
This was only $20, and but look at this vinyl. Nick is the vinyl. He is the guy on the Pawn Stars who appraises everything.
Let me call in my vinyl guy.
I don't know, but I have a guy that I can. Yeah.
What say you on this guy?
That is a urine and fecal matter splatter.
It kind of is, isn't it? It's not brown. It's sort of brownish black.
I'm gonna say honestly, that's a post barbecue. That's a post Southern Carolina barbecue.
Actually,
fecal matter splatter.
Actually, you know what it is? It's an albino chocolate starfish.
Possibly. I was going to say, if you've never had GERD or inflamed,
that sounds like a disease.
It is a disease. It actually, it's basically.
Well, the joke's not funny now.
Yeah, GERD is like it's like kind of like an acid reflux kind of shit.
But it's like the worst acid reflux that burns your fucking shit apart. And this kind of looks like the color of, it could be your urine. I did a urine sample earlier today and it was much darker than this. But this kind of looks like the same yellow as bile. If you looks
like post-barbecue urine.
Yeah, when you've had about the sweet tea, the 100-gallon sweet tea for Dawn.
And when you've had 15 Natty Lights and the gallon Keystones.
The Keystone.
They can't afford Natty Light or Keystone down there, bro. Come on.
Nah, man. Nah, man. It's all about Milwaukee's best.
Oh, the beast.
The beast.
Rolsh. Head for
Rolsh
the
is expensive and
mountains.
gross.
Dude, you want to talk about cleaning your system out, man? Like if you ever have a fucking colonoscopy, just drink a 6-pack of the beast, man. And it'll
no,
clear you out.
And a double tall on the rocks of Jim Beam.
And last but not least, this did come with a download card for Humivore. And it is a 45 RPM on that fancy splatter. So good to know.
Oh, is it an EP then?
It might be.
Well,
Let me ask you-
the one Exhumed
There's a
record I
lot of
have
songs,
is
but it's a
12-inch.
grindcore band. So the whole
Oh, yeah,
record-
so it's an EP.
It could be like 40 songs in 15 minutes. I don't know.
Let me ask you guys this. Speaking of I have seen like regular vinyl pressings come out that they said that they're to be played at 45 RPM. Like I've seen like a Metallica. Like how is that even fucking possible? And what is the point of that?
Nick, go for it.
Oh my lord. Jesus Christ, Superstar Don. Really, you don't know the difference between speeds?
No, I do know the difference
How
between
about you
speeds,
not
but what I'm
punch down on our co-host, Nick?
I'm sorry.
And just explain it for the people who also listen.
okay,
Not
45 is fast, 33 and a third is
Yeah.
slower. But what I'm saying is like, why would a full-length Metallica album say to be played at 45 and not
Because
how
it's
do they
not
get
a
that
full
shit
it's not
done?
a full length Metallica album on one disc.
So they have it spread out over.
Multiple discs. From now, punching down. Yes, my apologies. I was just trying to kind of avoid what I'm about to say. I don't really know why they do that.
You're wrong.
I have been told, and don't quote me on this, but you can quote me that I've been told it. I have heard people say that 45 RPM brings a better sound quality than 33. At 45 RPM, you can widen out the gaps a little bit, so you can fill up more of the space, and so it's not as squished together like with 33.
It all just sounds kind of.
I don't like it.
Hipsters seem.
I don't like
senseless.
it when they do like 12-inch LPs in 45. I've got a handful that are like double records, like the Coup, Sorry to Bother You, not to be confused with the Coup, Sorry to Bother You, not to be confused with the album Sorry to Bother You. This is in fact the soundtrack to Sorry to Bother You, the film.
The band, The Coup?
Yeah.
Like Boots Riley?
Yeah.
Fuck, I haven't heard anyone talk about The Coup, dude. I'm a huge Boots Riley fan.
Hey, yesterday there was one of them fallen downs, so I had to listen to the Coup, and we're not going to talk about it.
That's fucking crazy. I saw Boots Riley with Galactic, and it was one of the best shows I ever saw.
I had the opportunity to see Boots Riley in the Coup. However, at a fundraiser for Black Lives Matter for God, I can't remember his name.
I'll tell you what, though, it's worth the price of admission alone to see him do 5 million ways to kill a CEO.
That's why I listened to the Coup. Anyway, so yeah, unfortunately I drank too much and ate too much barbecue, so I was too tired to go. But yeah, so are we done with our vinyl check, gentlemen?
Yes.
Alrighty, so let's move on to the news check. I'm going to go first. I was the first one in the chat to spout it, so I'm going to be the first. I get to be the one that breaks it. More Foreigner news. Kelly Hansen out soon.
Rob Duke's in.
Zetro out or in.
Kelly
No
Hansen
one's really
out.
sure. We keep telling him.
Jeff Tate out.
Jeff Tate out.
in.
Air conditioning out. You keep opening the door. We're not cooling down the whole neighborhood here, Zetro, Dukes, and Kelly.
Terry Glaze out. Philip Anselmo in. Kyle Thomas copied.
And here's the best part about
But you know who isn't out, right? You can't keep me down, boys. The death can't kill me.
So they did ask Mick Guitar Jones what he thought because Luis Maldonado is moving over, and he's very proud that Luis Maldonado is taking over. So they aren't even hiring anyone new. They're just like, oh, well, this guy can sing too. So
Mick Guitar Jones couldn't give a rat's ass because he's getting a paycheck regardless of who's there.
yeah, Mick
And he
Guitar
doesn't
Jones
even have to show up.
yeah, he's like 945 at this point.
Does all of this seem a little weird to you guys? This just
Which part?
seems
That we don't stop talking about Foreigner and none of us
can't
really
stop.
even
We
like
are
them?
now a Foreigner fan cast,
Well, this is a foreigner newscast.
but
to begin.
also like
That's my fault.
Why do they have a news story every single week lately? I know they're touring a lot, but just
Did you know that their farewell tour ended in 2023?
it never ended.
But then they've extended it through 26. They're like,
Well,
due to popular demand. Are you sure?
I don't know who the popular demand is from.
Or did you guys like send out your resumes and like in singles, got no answer back?
Well, but let's also keep in mind that Lou Gramm has said that he's going to be in Foreigner for at least the next couple of years. So
well, he's not. So
it's like at least a couple of years. I'm like, dude, you have a couple of years left.
Enjoy your years, sir.
Don't do it in Foreigner, please.
And he only ended up doing a couple of guest spots. He didn't even like do a full tour. Luis Maldonado did the South American or Central American tour because apparently Kelly Hansen could not get into the countries.
I heard some pretty hefty rumors about that, but
probably had nothing to do with cocaine. You got to speak. Nobody saw it.
It had everything to do with cocaine because it's me.
All right, now what's your news?
So my news is the news that everyone does not want to hear, and it is that Dead and Company are playing 3 shows at Golden Gate Park Polo like field or something. It's like huge.
I was there last summer for Deftones and System of a Down. I will not be there for Dead and Company. Is Don coming to my town though?
I think Don is coming to your town.
When is
this happening?
So it is happening in August. It's like August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, I think.
The worst time of the year to be here, but yeah, that sounds about right.
Is it because it's so is it because
it's not hot? It's just kind of like, I don't know. I guess it's okay.
It's not hot for us.
Don, let's hang out. It'll be a first.
I would love that.
Let's come together.
Right now, over me.
Keefy, because you know what? No matter what it is, together we can beat it. It's okay.
Well, and your wife's gonna get weirded out though. That's what I worry about.
She'll just drop me off and pick me up later.
There's no chance that you're gonna come into my town and I'm not gonna make an effort to see you. So
no, absolutely not. But this is gonna be fun because it's 3 shows, August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And for anybody who doesn't know, the Grateful Dead played some of their earliest shows for free at the old Golden Gate Park. So this is celebrating the 60th anniversary of the music of the Grateful Dead. It will be Dead and Company. It's going to feature some other artists. So it's very exciting for the resident Deadhead here. How many times will you see a Deadhead wearing a Venom shirt? So anyway,
never.
But
that's
it's going to be
years of music and about 5 years of good albums, maybe.
Venom or Grateful Dead?
The Grateful Dead, not Venom.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Venom.
No.
The Venom had like a year and a half of good music.
Of good music. The best thing they ever did was call an album black metal. That was the best thing they ever did.
And they weren't even black metal. I will die on this hill.
But they coined the term.
Yeah, they coined the term. There's no hill to die on. There's no hill. They're not.
I mean, they're no Watain, but I'm sorry, Watain, as I was corrected.
You don't know Tigers of Pantingers.
Tigers of Panteras.
They're no Poontang.
They're no tigers of. They are no kings of Tiger King.
Can we just go with Tigers of Poontang?
No.
No.
Not that anybody asked, but I like this Florida Man IPA way better than the last time I had it.
Fair enough.
Does it taste like inbreeding?
Yeah, Don, do you have any other news?
No, it tastes like wannabe. It tastes like California without the healthcare.
Oh,
California without the healthcare.
That's a pretty good joke. Don and Nick are on fire today. I feel a little low energy.
That's because I drank less. I drank less before the podcast. All I've had is one light beer.
Oh, it could be.
So I think the only other news I have is we got the Dead and Co shows in San Francisco for 60 Years of the Dead. We had Adrian Smith was interviewed recently, and he said that writing with Bruce Dickinson is one of the easiest things to do, that he's very easy to write with and easy to work with. I don't know that I believe him, but I will take it. And I guess the other thing too is that Maiden is going to try to find a way to lock down cell phone use at their future shows, or at least try to find a way to curtail the amount of use that is going on, because that is something that has been setting Bruce off more than people smoking weed.
All right, I will not see them if they come to town if they do that. I'm not going to a lockdown cell phone show. I hate cell phones out at shows, but I also don't want to spend 2 hours trying to get my fucking phone back after a 20,000 person concert. So
no, what they do is they put it in like a zip, like a lock pouch is what it is. And then on your way out, they hand you something to unlock the pouch with.
So it's like a skeleton key?
Kind of, yeah.
That's dumb.
Nick, you're such a protesting hippie. You should go to the Dead shows with me.
You buy me a plane ticket, give me a reach around, and suck a golf ball through a garden hose to show me that you're serious. Where are you from? You from Texas?
Hey,
You know what they got down in Texas? Only 2 types. What you got, Keefy?
I think we've made Keith sick.
I might.
I didn't know they stack shit that high. I'm just quoting Full Metal Jacket at this point.
Aware.
Don's not. Don's high.
Yeah.
I am.
The problem with challenging Don on those things is he'd do it all to get you to go, and then you'd have to go.
Yeah, then I'd have
Nick's going to be like, you don't understand, hon, but like I kind of promised Don this.
I owe him one now.
It'd be fine. Lawyer wife's brother lives in San Francisco.
I know.
You like owe me 3.
So
like not a hard play.
3 bits of news. Gene Simmons, I do the Kiss news for a change. My name is Gene Simmons. I invented air and shoes. Gene Simmons says that Ace and Peter are welcome to come on their own volition to the Kiss Army storms Vegas.
May I ask a question?
You may.
Is that welcome like you and I are welcome to purchase a fucking ticket?
That's what I was just gonna say.
That's probably what he meant. Gene is very shrewd. Gene is a shrewd fucking dude. And I don't know why, like, he can't resist talking about Ace and Peter. It's fucking over and done. Stop it. And I'm sure Ace will shoot back or Peter will not respond, and we'll do another one on these next week. They haven't been able to play a Kiss song, right? Since I left the band the 5th time. Well,
yeah, when I got fired for the 18th time, I lost count. But I'm still out there. And they got a musical vasectomy, Carly. And I don't use tapes. You should use tapes.
It must be feeding time for the demon.
Oh God.
Star Child. 2 other bits of
You're
news.
looking for someone, and it's not Kiss.
2 other bits of news. I saw Emperor last weekend. It was amazing.
Oh,
It was their first time in San Francisco since 1999, and Isan made jokes about, like, I promise you we'll be back before the next millennium. Sorry, it took a whole millennium for us to come so far.
a whole millennium.
And I was like, that was
Nice.
really funny. Yeah, he said that. Pretty exact quote. Great show. Agalock opened. I think I'm just kind of over them based on other stuff with them. Good band. I happen to be sitting next to some people I couldn't tell if they were serious death metal fans or fucking juggalos. They seem to be unimpressed with the show. Why are you fucking here?
Because of the face paint?
I don't know.
They got confused. They saw the
The
poster
chick
and they
looked
were
like
drunk?
a juggalo, and the boyfriend looked like a black metal dude, and they were annoying me. But okay, fine, I tolerate.
I mean, I could see a drunk high juggalo walking by like in a bath poster, going, "Oh,
those are my people. That's my tribe." Day 47, they still don't know I'm a dog. It never is not funny.
It's always funny.
Emperor was great. No notes. Please come back. They were amazing. They played all of Anthem's in the Nightside Eclipse, with a handful of other songs. So that was great. An hour and a half set, really nice. Isan like maybe walks in solos more than anybody except for Dave Mustaine and Gary Holt. Like he literally would like walk from side to side on the stage and just like casually. Amazing. Keyboard player, 2 guitars, bass, drums. Original members just Samoth and Isan. And then I am going this weekend to BottleRock Napa, where I am going to at least see Green Day, Sublime, Public Enemy, Ice Cube, and Justin Timberlake.
Ah, dude.
And Benson Boone, maybe. I'll be honest with you. I have not done even a 2-day festival in years. I'm gonna try for all 3 days, but honestly, if I get up on Sunday and I feel like trash, I'm not gonna push myself. I do want to see Robbie Krieger, but like honestly, it's not a lineup on Sunday I care about.
Have you seen him?
I've never seen any member of the Doors live.
I've seen Ray and Robbie twice.
That's crazy.
That is,
and I'm sure it's the last chance probably to see Robbie on anything.
I'm certain it's the last chance because John,
he's like 80.
Yeah, and John's not doing anything. He has never done anything. He actually sued the band when I saw them the first time. He had sued the band
for calling themselves the Doors, and then they were what? The Doors.
They were the Doors of the
20th century.
Hang on, let me finish. They were the Doors of the 20th century, and he vetoed that.
What a dick.
So they had to go as writers
on the Stone.
Caius lives once again.
I mean, we could have had, we could have had Venom and Venom Inc., but no. Well, that's actually, I mean, that I did
have Venom and Venom Inc.
I meant with the Doors.
And I'm a fan of both. So
I would like to see. I would have liked to have seen all three members of the Doors touring and playing shows together, but like 3 sets.
Didn't they do that like a VH1 special, like a Storytellers? And
yeah,
it was the 3 members, and then like Ian Astbury and a bunch of other.
And that was what brought them back. Ray and Robbie went, "Oh my God, this is great, John. Let's tour." And he said, "Eh."
Yeah, they did Woodstock '99 with Creed, where the Creed guys sang with them. They came out and played with Creed, and they did a little mini Doors set with Scott singing. Wow. They have tried with Ian Astbury, and they had Weiland in for an audition, and he bombed.
When I saw them, it was the dude from Fuel.
Oh, Brett Scallions.
Brett
Scallions. I'm sorry. The first time I saw them, it was him. The second time was a Bosnian guy. It was much better with Fuel.
Bosnian guy.
I
don't know the name. It's a Bosnian guy.
How did that even work with it? Like, how did that even work with the guy from Fuel? Because he does not have a voice that sounds like
No, he did
Morrison.
It really well.
Did he do it better than Ian Astbury?
Yes. Ian Astbury can't do anything other than Timu Jim Morrison.
Aww.
Fuel did like Leonard Skinner, Jim Morrison.
You hurt my feelings just now.
Which part?
About not liking Ian Astbury. I thought we were close.
Sorry. Come
on.
Fire.
Future podcast miniseries on the Cult.
So one album, one song?
Yeah. Well, no, 2 albums.
At least 3.
Does that include Metallica?
Oh, bro.
Oh, Keefy. Is that Sublime with Rome or with
no,
with Brad
Rome
Noel's
kid? Rome is gone.
Just in case no one knows, per MC Lars, Sublime with Rome is not the same thing as Sublime.
Yeah, I think that's technically what's the band this guy's canceled? Jimmy Urine.
What the fuck?
What the fuck are you talking about?
You don't know the band? Mindless Self-Indulgence is that? That's their song.
I don't know anyone named Jimmy Urine.
Now, but I want that name.
Johnny Urine and I are close.
He's the singer of Mindless Self-Indulgence, and he has been canceled. But he used to set his pubes on fire on stage.
I think I'm gonna start going. Yeah, I want to start going by Donnie Diarrhea.
You know what? If I ever have an album, it's going to be called Pubes on Fire.
Fire.
Nick's pubes are on fire.
Shirt check. I'm rocking St. Louis's finest. Steve's Hot Dogs.
Steve's Hot Dogs. Hopefully future podcast guest.
I tweeted at him, but I mean, we're not close. So, what you wearing, Don? Wait, Don already shirt checked.
I am sporting my Venom Welcome to Hell shirt, which is ironic because yesterday I was wearing my Venom Inc. shirt.
You still get a shirt check if you check. We discussed the shirt comes up, but like whatever.
Check my shirt. There you go.
That's it. Maybe a future podcast guest. Who owns Vintage Vinyl? Can we talk to them?
I actually know people that know him. His name's Papa Ray. However, he has a show on PBS now, so we might not be big enough for him. I will say, Lawyer Wife, we were watching YouTube before coming in. She's like, I don't understand why your stuff isn't more successful when crap like this is on.
You know, I found out.
And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
YouTube, the social media expert, learned something. They have now, because the rules change every fucking 3 months on all the social networks. They have curtailed over hashtagging, so our hashtag list is too long. So I'm going to experiment with a micro hashtag list in our descriptions on YouTube, and let's
That's
see if
what
that makes
they.
a difference.
That's what they did on Instagram. When I started on Instagram, even when I had like 18 followers, I'd do like super hashtags in English and Japanese, and I was getting like 40, 50 likes.
Yeah, you need like 3 now. No,
Yeah, I used 3. Band. What I do now is band, genre, vinyl. That's all I do.
Well, I wish they would just like stay consistent, because at one time
Welcome
it's
to
like
my
you have to
hell as a social media manager.
Yeah.
All right.
I wish they would stay consistent. Fuck.
Let Keefy finish his shirt check.
No, that's fine. I did. Vintage Vinyl of St. Louis, Missouri.
Apparently, it's St. Louis night on the Glacially Musical Podcast, and no one told Don or anybody else. So
well, they have water and hydration packets there, so count me in.
Why is this classy? Does anybody know? The pinky thing. Why
What's
is
to do
it
with
classy?
tea? Sipping tea.
It's the sipping tea.
Teacups.
It's a little, yeah.
I know, but why is that classy?
It's not that it's classy. It was interpreted as a highfalutin, high
It's
society thing.
Yeah, so it's like a very social thing.
So you're misunderstanding like etiquette versus what becomes common, like a common, not a misnomer, but
Did you just call me a commoner?
Shut the fuck up and let me finish answering a question. Fuck you. God, you are fucking terrible. I want to give you a chance, and then you're just like, I'm the Cammy, I know everything.
I just want you to... I don't know everything. I asked a question because I don't know.
Like interrupting me from
I'm just trying to make you laugh, bro.
Well, you've been making us laugh most of this podcast, and just not now. I apologize, Nick. But also kind of fuck you.
Also kind of fuck you.
Because I'm petty.
I want to start saying that. Also, kind of fuck you.
Yeah.
You know?
The year was 1977. Let's do the meat. If anyone is still fucking listening, I highly doubt it.
The year is 1977. Fuck Nick Cameron, apparently.
With his poor face. I'm sorry, buddy. But you kind of bring the worst out in me. I had a very good and cathartic
What's great about this, and Keefy's screaming at me every week on these podcasts.
I don't enjoy it. You bring the worst out of me. It's your fault. You made me hit you again.
No, we don't do that. If you look at like our group chat, Keefy is just so loving and kind. I think it's because he can't like tell that I'm interrupting him by a text. If he could tell that I was interrupting him by a text, it'd be a lot more. Fuck you, Nick.
Anyway, do you ever feel like sometimes we'll be in the middle of all of a sudden Keith will just drop out, like he's just like, I can't take it anymore.
I do that to you guys too. I mean, when Don gets corny porn, I mean, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna
corny.
Just gonna dip. I don't want to get on the porn pony with Don. Maybe with Keefy, but not with Don. Never
Porn
with Don.
pony.
Porn Pony would have been an infinitely better song than Ride the Pony, Billy. Maybe you would have gotten the Hall of Fame if you would have just sang corny pony.
Baloney pony. Anyway,
I'm a big fan of Genuine's Pony.
I can't give you any of these. They teach me things. Did you know that you can have sex with baloney?
If you've ever seen a Dead Boys video, you would know, like a video from the 80s or 70s, you would know that.
Yes, absolutely. Dead Boys, nothing to play around with.
Wow. This is the most Amtrak I think we've ever been.
Pretty bad.
The year was.
It's my fault.
The year was 1977. Kiss had embarked on their Love Gun tour, which created in the fakest live album this podcaster has ever heard. Alive 2. That thing is a bunch of bullshit. Anyway, so 77. In 77, Heart is a million-selling band. They come out of nowhere, out of Canada, the Vancouvers, soon to be Canadian Florida and Canadian Hollywood at the same time. So it's Canadian Calahalida. And then they get to come back after Jimmy Carter does the amnesty because people they were with were fleeing the Vietnam War in the draft. So they intended Magazine to be their follow-up, as we discussed last week. Magazine comes out twice, once in 77, once in 78. For more information, please see our published works 2 weeks ago. Now, as the dispute with the label widens, Heart Ann and Nancy and the other kids whose names I just don't know. I'm sorry. They abandon Magazine, which I think this is the only time in history I've ever heard of a band doing this. They get into a dispute with the label instead of, just continuing to work on the record, finish the record. They completely abandoned it and wrote a new record. Can you guys think of any other time where that's happened? Am I just ignorant?
I think there are several bands that have done a similar thing, but never to this level of pettiness.
No, actually, well, yeah, I don't know if so. Obviously, Dave Matthews Band did something similar where they had an entire album that was produced by Stephen Lillywhite.
The Glacially Musical Podcast does not recognize the existence of the Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, hold on, but I know, but I was just gonna say, but what happened was that they recorded an entire album, turned the entire album into the label. The label hated it, but then they put it out anyway. And so it's
that's different. That's not remotely the same thing what we're talking about.
Okay, I'm stoned, so I'm sorry. Just leave me alone.
Okay.
Get fucked.
Not as funny as when you do it.
I know.
It's only funny when I do it.
It really is.
It's funny when Keefy does it because it
wasn't even funny to me when I said it,
So, as Mushroom Head Records is putting out Magazine, Hart is back in the studio.
It's not Mushroom Head, it's just Mushroom. Mushroom Head.
You said Mushroom Head, dude. I don't want to hear about your dick.
I make a joke sometimes, guys. God damn it, anyway. When did this get so? Okay, fine. We're gonna be straight laced.
No, but Mushroom Head is a.
I'm gonna
no.
I'm gonna be so.
Series.
Hang on. Let me go put on my suit.
I made Nick like Slipknot.
And I'll find I'll buy a new monocle. I broke my first one.
Monocle?
You had one to break.
Did you really have a monocle, actually?
Lawyer wife got it for me for Christmas because she knew I wanted one. And lawyer wife approves of my stupidity. I don't know why. Like, she's so excited that I'm excited about crops. I'm growing crops, and crops have cropped up. So
like
I water
crops of what?
Maters and cucumbers and peppers. So anywho, so they go into the studio in February, and they bang it out in April and drop the record in May. You want to talk about a band that just wants to get on the fucking road? They dropped. They dropped it off at the pressing plant and said, "Are you done?" They dropped it. It's like one of my customers. They dropped it off at the pressing plant on Monday at 9 a.m. Called back at 12:30. What's the status update? When's this going to be ready? You guys done? We got to go. And that's Little Queen. Can I also say the cover of this is very, very Hart. We have Ann and Nancy in Ren Fair outfits, and they look frighteningly comfortable. And I assume that's the band behind them. The blurry out of focus guys. Don't ask them.
Probably just put you on the cover.
Yeah.
Don't ask them.
Nobody cares about us. I'm just one of the out of focus guys.
Okay, everybody got the reference. All right, Keefy, what you got?
So I know we kind of inverted this, but this to me feels right. Magazine should be second. Little Queen is next.
Magazine should be forgotten.
Well, no, I mean, not totally. It's interesting that when they went back in to refinish Magazine or redo and re-edit and remix Magazine, they had a court-ordered guard standing nearby to make sure they didn't erase the tapes on purpose, which is some like acrimony, right? Like pure acrimony. And then they get
this is the pettiest thing I've ever heard. And I'm
seriously.
Wait,
I like me some
I'm here
pettiness. Yeah, I love me some pettiness, but boy, that is like...
toilet.
So, yeah, so Portrait Records, which I'm not 100% sure of the lineage of. I guess they were a sister label of Epic, and then later Epic was owned by Columbia. Other notable artists on that label were Cyndi Lauper and Sade.
Quick shout out to the 70s when we still had multiple labels.
Yeah, there's only like 10 now. Or
not even that.
The three majors and everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that so Little Queen kind of does, Magazine was kind of put out, then pulled back, pulled it out. Then Little Queen.
That is not a good method to.
It's not a good method for growth control, but not a bad record for releasing records. Eventually, on the strength of the first single, which we'll talk about in a minute, Little Queen outsold magazine handily, eventually earning them triple platinum. Because of the way the albums were released, they had 3 records on the charts at the same time, which was rare back then. I'm sure it was just them and Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin at the time.
Right. At this time, because in the 60s, bands put out 2 to 3 records a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's back when, you know, the songwriters, primarily the songwriters on the records, unless you were the Beatles or Jimi Hendrix or the Doors, were you would get one cut each side. You would sing That Thing You Do in Spanish, and then you would fill up the rest of the record with these approved songs off the Playtone label. And that's how they would be able to get these damn things out. And they, you know, multi-track recording was not terribly widely popular at that time, so they'd go in, bang it out, and get back in the car and get back out on the road. In the 70s, that slows down and that stops.
But we're also talking about too that we're just barely into the era right now where bands are touring for albums. You know, because up until that point,
touring extensively.
Yes, because up until this point, like, you know, you're talking like, I mean, every band was, I mean, Kiss was doing it. Even like, you know, Rush is like, they put out an album, they'd hit the road, they'd do so many cycles, they'd get 3 weeks off, they'd go cut an album, then they'd hop back on the road again before the album, because they weren't touring to promote records, they were touring to tour, and then the records were coming out for radio. And I feel like this is around the time we started to see that kind of touring behind an album.
Right. You would tour in order to meet the record, or to meet the radio personalities and hand them your 45.
Again, yeah, go ahead, Nick. I'll finish.
Again, we're quoting That Thing You Do. And then Pink Floyd drops a record that sells 20 million copies. And all the
touring cycles are basically Pink Floyd and Queen's fault.
Yeah, and everybody looked at this thing going, wait a minute. You can sell how many of one of these things? All right, boys.
Without being on the road for 292 days? You know?
No, you cannot do it without being on the road 300 days
Exactly, yeah.
So, Roger, Jimmy, Planty, here's a bus. Get your ass on it.
Or a plane.
Well, yeah, Led Zeppelin got a plane. But, yeah, so, correct. Keefy.
That's kind of what I've got. You know, kind of out of the gate with multiple platinum records. 2 out of 3 right away. And obviously the false start of the second one, but ultimately helped serve them because it got them out of their deal.
Yeah.
You know, and Mushroom continued to kind of sabotage them in the media, which is insane. Really fucking insane.
See, the smart labels, when they have a band that blows up, like Alive Natural Sound and the Black Keys, if you're smart, you just keep re-releasing that goddamn thing.
I'm pretty sure that guy's not involved with that label anymore.
Who?
You keep bringing it up. Whatever his face is from the Black Keys.
No, he's no longer involved in the label. However, that label still owns their first record.
Yeah.
So they keep re-releasing it. Sometimes they bring him in to produce. He has been on other Alive Natural Sound records as a session player. They use that association to sell records. Harvest Records, after they lost Pink Floyd to Capitol, continued to re-release and repackage these things, including even signing Syd Barrett. Didn't work out as well.
Didn't work out as well. Yeah. All right, I mean, I'm ready to do you want to hear about the records of 1977, even though we did 1978 2 weeks ago?
Let's do 77. I feel like this is the one I've been waiting for. Okay, two heads.
I mean, like we said, 78 was just all bangers, right? Like mostly bangers.
Mostly bangers.
Look, there was so much cocaine in the 70s at this time that they're all going to be There's going to be at least 258 bangers per year. Just because they were on so much cocaine, so many records got released. Law of averages.
Yeah.
That is fully fair. Let's see. Which is the best way to go do this? Do. In
the meantime, can I say, you know, in later years, Nancy has been. Wait, which one's the guitar player?
Nancy.
Nancy
is the guitar player.
I'm doing it now. Can you tell?
Oh,
doing what?
What?
Which one is Nancy?
I'm
punch
sorry.
her through the screen.
That's fair.
Punch him in the dick, Nick.
Nancy has been decried as the heart, or declared the heartthrob, and Anne speaks, "Oh my God, so gorgeous! I love my sister." But if you look at this record, holy hell!
Anne has always been the fox of the
She's a
two.
smoke
I
show.
and I will die on that hill.
Yeah, she's a
Even
total
in
smoke
the later years.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but the blurry out of
Man.
focus dudes are pretty hot too. But they're blurry and out of focus and far away.
It's the cocaine
minute,
talking, Nick.
I
It's
mean,
the
like,
cocaine.
Is that a little person?
I will say
Is that
that
a little person?
when we
It
start,
is.
is it
Oh my
Peter Dinklage? Peter Dinklage? Peter Dinklage?
It's the half man.
Half man, half man, half man.
I drink and I know things.
I drink.
Wait, is that
before I
Hop
know
Frog?
things. No.
God, Nick.
Did I get too literary?
Two.
Too literary.
Oh. Are you ready for the albums of 1977? In no
Bring
particular
it.
order.
Bring them.
Perhaps future someday band podcast subject Fleetwood Mac rumors.
Wow, has anybody ever heard of that one?
Yay or nay?
Yes.
With no commentary. And don't
No.
talk over me while I'm saying the band and album name, or I will fucking shit my hat and eat it. God.
I don't want that.
Never
Nick,
mind.
talk over him quick.
Never mind the bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols by the Sex Pistols.
No.
Oh, most overrated thing ever. Marquee
Yes.
Moon by
No.
Television. You should have it.
No. Don't
You
have
fucked
it.
up your life by not having it. Low by David Bowie, part of the Berlin trilogy.
No.
Former podcast subject or future podcast subject in a way. Animals by Pink Floyd.
Absolutely.
Japanese.
Arguably the best album by Bob Marley and the Wailers. Exodus.
No.
I don't have that one, but
That's
is
a
my favorite
shocker.
Marley album.
That's just a shocker.
I got live.
As much weed has been through your body and you don't have that album.
It was one of those that
I'm
like
just
I had it
shocked.
on CD for years, and I'm still trying to rebuild my vinyl collection in my midlife crisis here.
That's fair.
So.
That's fair. Pink Flag by Wire, another record neither of you have that you should.
No.
Okay, I thought you missaid Pink Floyd for some reason.
Pink Flag by Wire.
I have no idea who that is.
I said it fast and it sounded like Pink Floyd. Aja by Steely Dan.
No.
Amazing. Got it.
No, because Steely Dan gargles my balls.
Steely Dan never would have made it today.
That's because Steely Dan gargles my
Gargles
balls.
my balls. That's fucking great. But yes, I have it. It's fantastic. I love it.
Rocket to Russia by the Ramones.
Absolutely.
Yes.
God, no.
Fucking hell. Trans Europe
fucked, Nick.
Express. Get fucked, Nick. Kraftwerk.
No, I don't have the album Get Fucked Nick. Is it good?
That's what I'm going to name my album. This could be called Get Fucked, Nick.
Don works for like 6 years
Don
on
Del-
a record.
Don Delamont presents Get Fucked,
Get
Nick.
fucked, Nick. Can I do backing vocals?
Yes, absolutely.
Another
Three-part
guy I just
harmonies.
never fucking connected with much. I'm not saying he's bad. I just don't get it. My aim is true. Elvis Costello. Why is he so popular?
Yeah,
I never
that's
got- I
exactly how I feel the same. It's also how I feel about the Ramones.
This
I don't get it.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Doesn't
Nick.
connect.
Stop it.
Are you not
Elvis
getting the
Costello is one of those acts, though, that I feel like he is very uninsulting. Like I've never heard anything from him that I was like, stop it. But I've never heard anything that I was like, I need to get this.
Right. That's his debut album. A second album by David Bowie in the same year, Heroes by David Bowie.
I have no Bowie.
That's
No. I don't have that.
crazy. The debut studio album by The Clash.
That's just the Clash.
Just The Clash with them on the front cover.
Yeah, I got
Not
that one.
London Calling with Paul Simonon smashing the bass.
No, I have that one.
No, I don't have that one.
The debut.
Now we're going to start heating up. Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf and Jim Steinman.
Hell yes.
Yes, I do. But do you have Back into Hell, The Unforgiven 5?
No, but I've got Bad Attitude featuring Bob Kulick.
In French, this album would be called L'Étranger, but it's The Stranger by Billy Joel. Shut Up, Don.
No, I
Yeah.
don't have that one.
Yes.
Look, you Grateful Dead hating motherfuckers, okay?
That's
Okay,
fully fair,
no,
but
the Grateful Dead have earned the hate.
a rational person would never pick the Grateful Dead over Billy Joel, and never, ever, bro.
Well,
You gotta be. You gotta be high.
well, you know what Nick prefers. He's like, hey, I'm a fan of Return of the Vampire. Nick is love that
here.
album.
Hello, welcome, King Diamond. Kim Bendix, how are you?
That's a new one.
It's so good to be here.
And I have that on vinyl.
Terrible. Grandma, what was it like? Talking Heads 77 by Talking Heads.
No.
I
That is
don't
their
have that
debut
one.
album.
No.
Lust for Life by Iggy Pop. You don't.
No.
Neither of you have this.
No, but I have a newfound love for Iggy Pop, and I'm kind of diving into him right now. So
I loved him in Star Trek.
Sure. Parliament Funkadelic Funk Technically versus the Placebo Syndrome.
Fuck.
No.
Still no. I only have
No.
one.
That's the very first Parliament versus Funkadelic album. One of my most hated albums of my entire lifetime, Saturday Night Fever by the Bee Gees.
fuck
Hell
that.
yeah, bitch.
Fuck everything
No.
about this.
Do.
Shut the fuck up.
Fuck up, Nick. Get fucked, Nick.
I'll get fucked to the Bee Gees playing Stayin' Alive.
Future podcast.
Jesus, that's disgusting.
I would rather not get fucked by being sad and listening to Billy Joel. A Farewell to Kings by Rush. Yes. Hell
Yes, I got that.
Future podcast subject.
Future
Don't
podcast
have it.
subject.
Former podcast subject, News of the World by Queen.
No.
No, I don't have that. I have
thought you did.
releases.
I think you
No.
sold it or something.
No.
All right.
I have Bohemian. I have Night at the Opera, Day at the Races.
Okay. We're not
Debut
doing
and-
the Nick discography here. Yes or fucking no.
I said no, and then you
Kill
asked to
me
follow up.
Slowly. Out of the Blue by ELO. No.
No.
In the City by The Jam. No jokes this week about The Jam. I know neither of you have it.
So why should you mention it?
Arguably
Is that the Fish album?
No. Arguably underrated pre-new wave, proto-new wave, New Boots and Panties by Ian Dury. I'm sure you don't know what it is.
No,
No,
I don't
have
even know that. No.
This is a song.
What band was he? Did he join later?
Yeah,
I know that
I
name.
forgot. Like something important. I don't fucking
Yeah,
know.
Madness or something.
No, I don't think so. An album about Don's cock. Songs from the Wood, Jethro Tull.
Yes,
No.
I have that one. I made the fucking album. That's what happened when I fucked American Beauty by the Grateful Dead.
An
Put some
album
wood glue on it.
An album I think is good, Before and After Science by Brian Eno.
No.
Mm-mm. I do love some Brian Eno.
This is a fucking good record, also from my childhood. Go for Your Guns, the Isley Brothers. Part of my mom's workout album playlist. Another Iggy Pop record, multiple records in the same year by Iggy and Bowie working together in tandem. The Idiot by Iggy Pop.
No.
The Ill-Fated Street Survivors by Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yes.
No.
I have all the real Skinnerd.
Whatever that means.
I am not down with Skynyrd.
Slow Hand by Eric Clapton.
Yes.
I have a really inappropriate Clapton joke that I can either tell later or
Tell it never. Two douchebags in a row. Wife beating Jackson Brown running on empty.
No.
Nah.
And pedo and anti-American racist Ted Nugent, aka Ped Nugent, like pedo.
Fuck
Oh,
no.
that's beautiful. Ped Nugent.
Ted Nugent.
No Ped
Ped.
Nugent.
Yeah, Ped. When I saw you coming out of school that day, Ted Nugent's cock.
I knew.
Oh.
Oh, no.
I do
And
that just to hear Nick do that, like, oh, disgusted. Like,
You know,
take a
the
sip of
worst
sport
part
milk.
is you are going to say that record soon.
I am. It's coming. And so am I.
Yeah, Gene is coming.
It's coming. So I'm Gene Simmons. Oh, they enjoyed. I've had sex with over 4,500 women. 4,000.
I object that you say I claim to have had sex with 4,000
Did
women.
not enjoy
And Shannon
it.
Tweed made me burn all my Polaroids.
Maybe the first real metal album beside the Black Sabbath albums, Sin After Sin by Judas Priest.
No.
That's a beautiful album.
That is a great fucking record. In Color by Cheap Trick, a band Nick does not like.
I do. What?
Oh, sorry, Don doesn't like.
No, I can't stand Cheap Trick.
Yeah, something's wrong with you.
Next series, Cheap Trick.
Another one you need to have in your life is fucked if you don't have it. All in All by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
No.
No.
Here's going to be one complete fucking pants stretcher from all three of us. Point of No Return by Kansas.
Hell yes.
Hell yes. Absolutely.
I am not
Probably seen them this year.
I am not familiar with this next one, JT by James Taylor. Is this any good?
That's actually a good one. He was still kind of in his like early single, the kind of singer-songwriter folky.
We have like 10 James Taylor albums, and I can't tell you what they are.
He looks high on the cover of this black and white album photo of him.
Yeah, he seemed high the whole time I saw him.
I'm sure there are a few more, but rounding it down, Love Gun.
Yeah.
Kiss.
Yes. With the pop gun.
Oh.
Blank Generation by Richard Hell and the Voidoids.
Nope.
I'd like to have it. I don't have it. Book of Dreams by Steve Miller Band.
No.
Ask
Steve
Rufus.
Miller's awesome.
Ask Rufus by Rufus.
No.
Who's Rufus?
I'm interested.
Rufus, like Rufus and Chaka Khan. Rufus, you know.
This guy. This guy has got very strong Nick Cameron energy.
Bill and Ted. Rufus, bro.
This is very strong Nick Cameron energy. Ask Rufus by Rufus.
Ask Rufus by Rufus.
Directed and produced by Rufus.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The name is Bootsy, baby. Bootsy Collins.
Oh, he
don't have that one, but I love that.
If there's a disco album that I would own, it would be Once Upon a Time by Donna Summer.
Simmer down now. Nope.
I don't have that one.
This is a picture of this guy's navel, but Barry White sings for someone. Barry White.
Barry White's navel? Who wants that?
I don't know. Or his butthole. I'm not sure which.
What is it,
looks
Peter
like a
Steele on the cover?
It's like a moon crater.
3 left to go. The Grand Illusion by Styx.
Yes.
I have to change my pants. Yeah, I got that.
Incredible. Love
it. Damned by the Damned. Yes.
No.
Ratus Novericus by the Stranglers.
That's too many words.
It is a bit too many words.
Is that a Carcass album?
No, it isn't. Insalubrious of the Cunteriferous.
Insalubrious of the.
Okay, question. One, does anybody honestly know what the name of that fucking record is?
No, because we've made fun of it so many times that we can't even keep it together.
Is there anyone in the world that can actually pronounce whatever the hell the name of that record is?
Insalubrious do Proctivitus.
You left out descanting.
The Art of the Theremin, which I wish I had. I used to have a theremin.
Okay, Sheldon. Wait, you had a theremin? I
had a theremin, yeah, like a real theremin.
Okay, Star Trek.
I almost bought one.
What?
I almost bought one. They make these new cool. Have you seen the new electric ones that they have? That they're small.
Wait, hang on. Incredible. Aren't they all electric?
Well, yeah.
Boogie.
Chicago 11, which I think is a terrible album, probably.
I can't keep track of what Chicago.
Come to Me by Juice Newton.
What the fuck?
Come In From the Rain by Captain and Tennille. Yacht Rock, bro.
It's a lot of coming right there.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yacht Rock.
Coming in yachts.
Come on,
Eileen.
Come on, Eileen. Come in.
Come on, Eileen. Come with me. Come to me. Come on me. Like whatever.
And what was the one you wanted? Happy Scrappy Hero Pup. Happy Scrappy. It's her favorite.
Dude, that can we just talk about how seamless that was? That was just so perfect.
Okay, just real quick. Yeah, I was trying to set that up.
Yeah, I know that you were.
Happy Scrappy.
Happy Scrappy.
Happy Scrappy.
What is that chick doing 30 years later? Hey, I had one line in Clark's. Happy Scrappy.
She had the kid.
The toddler, not the mom.
I don't think the kid actually even said anything.
Yeah, it was probably like overdub 80 or whatever it was. Overdubbed in. You don't really see the kid talk. So
the kid's probably fronting some like doom band from Canada.
That'd be kind of cool. A lot of jazz records this year. I'm just trying to see if we're missing anything. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Kenny Rogers has an album this year. How do we feel about Kenny Rogers?
I loved his chicken.
Chicken was fantastic.
I have the Gambler. Great. I have the Gambler, and that is one of the records that the pressing I have. I got it for $quarter at a thrift shop. That is the kind of record that you play for people to be like, this is why we do this.
You got to know when to hold them. No
The
one involved them.
Muppets version of the Gambler is like the greatest fucking terrible, awful thing I've ever seen. You see a Muppet die on a fucking train.
Oh, it's incredible. Not to be outdone by the John Denver and the Muppets Christmas album.
No, I have that. Moving on.
Incredible.
On the Road by George Carlin came out this year, one of my childhood bedtime records.
Are we still doing records from this year?
I guess so. I don't know. I guess
You went to bed listening to George Carlin? That's pretty awesome.
Why do you think I'm the way I am? Fuck.
I went to bed listening to Monty Python.
So
Why do you think the way
fucked.
I am?
Like Keefy went to bed as a kid. He woke up hating the fucking America. He's like, fuck this place.
Yeah, same. Because I listened to Monty Python.
The American dream, because you got to be asleep to believe it. He was right. Fuck, he was right.
God.
Oh, Quintessence
God.
came out this year by Bill Evans. That's a record I also heard a lot as a child. So,
Alrighty, we ready to fuck this pig, or do we just want to?
oh, again! I said don't say it, and here he goes. He says it.
Seriously? Why did you do that again?
For this exact moment to fucking say it. Why? Why do you do this? I'm gonna have a heart attack. Why do you do this to me?
It's from Letterkenny.
I don't give a fuck about Letterkenny.
You
ever.
should. It's amazing.
But like in context or out of context.
Okay,
it doesn't work
fine,
here.
fine. Not my monkey, not my circus. How we want to skin this cat?
Just do.
Look, if you guys
fucking
expect
track.
me to manage y'all properly, y'all need to stop arguing, okay? Because if y'all keep this up, we're gonna have to do a Make a Difference Foundation show, okay? So I'm
Has
out of here. Thanks.
Don become like our child that has gone through so much trauma that he has now developed multiple personalities in order to keep his parents together?
Show me on Mick Guitar Jones where they touched you. Right here.
On any album he made a song on.
Okay, here, I'll show you on Mick Guitar Jones where they touched me. They touched me right here on one nostril, squeezing it in. And they touched me here where they put the straw.
Well, I had Lou Graham behind me tossing my salad.
Oh, God.
Oh, and one last record for 1977,
Is
Zombie
it
by
Foreigner?
Fela Kuti.
No.
Oh, God, that's a great album, but I don't have it.
That's a shame. I don't
Fela
know if there's a
Kuti.
good.
Fela
Is
Cootie,
there an-
that's a Fela Cootie Pop.
No.
That's a good name.
Jesus Christ. We are on fire today, gentlemen.
My
The
ass is on
references are-
fire.
I was
Nick,
about
do
to-
the track by track. Let's go.
All right. The entire record begins and ends with track 1.
That's also true.
That's fucking incredible.
Barracuda. No notes. 35 out of 10. Fuck everybody who's not playing this song. Done.
Fucking banger central, man. I got nothing other than the fact that, like, especially after that last album, this song is better than the whole Olive Magazine.
I would rather listen to Barracuda than Magazine.
Yeah, same here. Yeah,
In
absolutely.
in any way you can interpret that.
135 out of 10.
It's more of a question: is Barracuda Heart's like unfuckwithable #1 best song? Like, it absolutely has to be considered their best song.
I didn't even think about that, but it
Top
is.
5 at least.
Top 3 at least.
Top
there.
And you know, man, like they were angry at the record industry. That's where a lot of this vile, this
Yeah, this
vitriol
song is
comes
about
from.
the label.
Yeah, it's about Mushroom, but it's also about the interviewer that asked them if they were lovers, sisters.
And you know what? That guy should fuck all the way.
I've asked
off.
some dumb fucking questions in my day in 17 years of doing music journalism, but holy fuck.
But
That's
you've
like
never
a boom.
asked.
That's like a Boom Boom Cameron interview.
It
But
sure
you've
is.
never asked anybody if they were sister fuckers.
I have.
What?
I've interviewed somebody that I think was, or the product of a incestuous family, because he was like, not
What
a
member-
member.
Okay,
What member of-
dwarf, but
What
it's
member
okay.
of Nashville pussy was that?
For the
Yeah.
record, okay, it's not. What the fuck is the word?
What are you saying, Nick?
Oh shit! I'm losing my perspicacity.
Stop trying to use big words.
I
You don't know what they
I
mean.
live in big words. I live in big words. I gotta
God
Google.
damn it,
The
Nick!
only
Get
que-
yourself
while Nick is
together.
muting himself-
Okay, it is not hyperbole. I was trying to go for hyperbole, and you brought my hyperbolic question into fucking reality.
I always just say
I don't think-
hyperbole.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
It does
Don,
mean it means precisely what it
there's
means.
only one question left when you bring up Nashville pussy.
Yes.
Ryder Says or Corey Parks? Which chick?
That's a good
The
question.
guitar player or the bass player? The original. Which
Man,
one?
I'd have to go with the Parks. I'd have to go with
Yeah.
the bassist, hands down. I have a Ryder story I can tell you soon, but let's just say that woman scares the living fuck out of me
As she
and
should.
horrified me.
All
Absolutely.
right, I'm not going to make the Parks joke in my head because it'd be very insensitive.
You're on a roll.
You're on a roll. Go ahead.
Barracuda's awesome. 10 of 10. The rest of the record doesn't really matter after it. Go ahead.
Love Alive. Hey, look, it's Lord of the Rings. Except when Led Zeppelin does Lord of the Rings, it's down, 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 Gollum, Strider. This is like fucking the elves in Rivendell. I don't need this.
This is why the album looks like a Ren Fair cover.
Yeah,
They still
'cause
think they're a folk rock band.
they're in Middle Earth when they recorded and wrote this.
Mordor or Gold, they have your ring. Don, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, that's like my favorite like meme is the Led Zeppelin pie chart. Have y'all seen that? Where it's like the red is like it's mostly about sex, and then it's like Vikings or hobbits or some shit, and there's like little yellow sliver that says citrus.
The best part about it, when every now and again, like if you listen to the live records, Robert Plant will just like scream something from Lord of the Rings, like in stuff that has nothing to do with Lord of the Rings. There's like one song where he just goes Strider.
I think he's high.
You think the guy singing about Acapulco Gold
is big?
Acapulco Gold.
I know what it is, pal.
Well, that was like his all the references in Ramble On are just like completely just like out of sorts with the
totally
story.
Not. Yeah, don't make sense.
Yeah, so Gollum actually was hot enough to steal a woman from somebody. Like I don't think that
Gollum
that doesn't check.
Like I don't know that he had the right story. Gollum, there's an evil gate. I don't know if it's technically the evil wall.
Can I point out one thing though?
Yes.
I'm assuming Robert Plant had a big package because he wore very tight trousers.
Did you ever see that moose knuckle he rocks, dude? Seriously.
So one would assume
division sign.
One would assume that you could not fuck a ring. However, the Ring of Power adjusts to its wearer. So if Robert Plant wanted to fuck the Ring of Power,
the cock ring of power,
it would become the cock ring of power.
Amazon Prime presents the cock ring of power. I mean, that's the show all of San Francisco would watch.
That's gonna be the next of my next album,
featuring Strap-On Dildo Baggins. Moving on to track 3, Sylvan Song, more Ren Fair bullshit that I do not require.
Wait, hold on. I didn't get my say in it.
Yes,
you guys hated it. I love this one. It kind of reminded me of Marshall Tucker a little bit. Yeah.
Wait, did I skip one? No, I didn't. No,
we just skipped on.
I thought Love Alive was fantastic. I liked it a lot. I thought it was.
It's okay.
It was
cool. All right, let's kick Sylvan Song in the dick and move on.
This song sucks.
What a waste of fucking time.
2 minutes.
Then we get Dream of the Archer, and we're still dreaming about a time in the Renaissance that, and Barracuda's just right there, just right there. No.
They wrote one awesome song and lost the sauce. I guess. Go ahead.
See, this is weird because this might be where being a folk dude comes in, or like even just being like a stoner deadhead. It's like the psychedelia aspect of it. But like, I thought this album kind of took that Zeppelin.
It's their best album so far.
Well,
but do you want chicken or do you want steak? They started me off with a perfectly medium rare ribeye, and now they're giving me pork chops.
Dude, when I'm fucking high, I'll eat a hot dog in my hand with no bun.
I'm making
this is incredible. You know,
no bun.
I love. Dude,
what are you, 2 years old with a chicken tendy?
No, I'm high. Come on,
fair.
Get it over. But so, I loved where the song was going. I like it a lot. Like it, but it had that Zepp feel, but it didn't have the Zepp feel that the previous album had, where it was like they were so blatantly trying. Now it sounds more like a Zepp influence as opposed to like them just trying to totally rail Zeppelin.
This is they're trying to fuck Led Zeppelin 3 like you fuck Beast of the East.
That's amazing, dude. That's awesome.
I mean, that's accurate. I gotta be honest. That's fucking accurate.
Man,
They're
You both can
riding.
you both can go get fucked.
They are riding.
You know?
Zeppelin's
Hoping
dick
I
a
do
little.
tonight.
I know that Anne has like a very mutable, sounds like plant voice, but like way too hard, and it's Zeppelin 3, which I love.
Favorite
But like
Zepp.
they should have stayed in Hammer of the Gods and not the fucking Rivendell. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying?
Moving.
They're taking the Hobbits to Isengard, and they're taking my
what's-
interest of this album away.
What song are we on?
Come on, you have one job.
Come on, dude.
Kick it out. Come
Kick
on.
it out.
Jesus.
Okay, fine. Kick it out. Oh shit! I didn't realize you.
God,
That's
Nick.
really
Which one
funny.
is Nancy? This is our podcast today, guy.
Did you get into my edibles, Nick?
Come on, have I not been funny? I've been funny.
You've been funny, but like
You've been funny. Yes.
There. I try for
stop
two
with
things.
the Letter Kenny references. Stop.
I haven't made one in like 20 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Kick it out, Nick. Thoughts? It's the
Don't
only
need
other
it.
up-tempo song on the whole record. Let's go.
It's not Barracuda, and I mean Barracuda just ruined this whole fucking record for me.
Kind
Tom.
of. But it's good. No.
It's fine. It's fine.
I thought this one kind of reminded me of almost something I could have heard like Alice Cooper band doing, like the kind of classic Alice Cooper band. It had that kind of vibe to it. They're
Are you
also
rolling?
no. I'm ADHD, dude. I'm fidgeting with shit.
I do that too.
But the
I like tap my fingers like this.
but I also
Pulling
felt
my
like I
butt
heard a
over
little
the
bit
table.
of
You gotta get it up.
MC5 in there too, like a little bit of an MC5 kick there in the beginning, which I don't know. I thought the song was surprising. I liked it. I thought it was great. I give that I'll give it a 8 out of 10.
What if Nancy Wilson's contribution to the Almost Famous soundtrack is actually just rewriting some of these lesser known heart songs? Because honestly, Fever Dog is
Fever
very
Dog.
similar.
Wait,
to
are we doing
Kick It
Fever Dog again?
Out. It's
Climb
kind of
on
Fever
my
Dog.
back door.
It's Fever Dog again a little bit. A
Yes.
little
Okay,
bit.
fair enough.
A
I
little
don't
Bad
remember
Company.
Fever.
For me, Bad Company
Is Fever
and
Dog.
It's an okay mid-tempo rocker.
Then
Mhm.
Yeah,
side-
I wanna be there.
Side
Flip
one,
the record.
Side one starts strong, gets squiffy, finishes ishy.
All right.
Little Queen, another good track. We're playing a little bit electric-y. They're bookending. I'm not going to complain. It's just, again, when Mark McGuire hits that home run in his first at bat, when he walks or gets a double, it's just not as cool. Don?
I dig this, man. This was like them kind of kicking out the funk a little bit. They had some groove to it. And I'll also be honest, dude, Howard Leese does not get enough credit for what a solid fucking player he is. If you listen to how him and Nancy play off of each other, he is so subtle, but like incredibly crucial to the sound. I feel like this song, he jumps out a lot more for me. I love it.
Nice
He
work.
was in Bad Company.
Yeah, this is a good song. This is actually a good song. There's 3 good songs on here. And I don't
I
know
think
what
that's
else.
a little unfair, but moving on to Treat Me Well.
Prove me wrong.
I think Love Alive
4
and
good
Dream.
songs.
I think Love Alive and Dream of the Archer are good songs. They're just so beaten down by Barracuda is like it's like a 25 out of 10. And
Why
Love
isn't
Alive-
this record 10 Barracudas, damn it?
or it's like 6 of them at least?
And one crazy on you. Why?
See, like
Right.
Barracuda is like when you blow your load when you see a woman, and then you just have to hang out for the rest.
We didn't ask for your personal recollection of all your interactions with your partner, Don.
Look, dude,
You
that
know what?
happened. Like,
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Don, shut up. No, that's like a really, really accurate explanation of this record. You sit there, you blow your load, and now you're uncomfortable because you're sticky for the next 9 songs. And here we are into the soft underbelly of more Zeppelin than Zeppelin. I mean, this is like this is their Hobbit. Side 1 was Lord of the Rings. Now they're going back for Hobbit. And if they do another record, they're probably going to like start creating more lore that nobody's ever heard of in order to maintain this folk rock thing when they could be Magic Man and Barracuda and everybody's happier. Don?
so this one kind of was like a sleeper for me, but as a sleeper in the sense that it sounded too much like, like Dream of the Archer, like it's because they start to kind of
very true.
repeat themselves a little bit, but I still really like it. Like this is a mood album. this is not an album to like completely rock out to. Like this is a mood record. Like this is like 2 a.m., 100 milligrams, eating a pack of Oreo double stuff, like just chill.
Fudge dipped, white chocolate dipped, or just regulars?
Dude, chocolate dipped, dude. Fucking A.
Man, my blood sugar just spiked.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna blow your minds. I'm gonna.
Is it
lean
blood
into
sugar
the
related?
microphone like this.
Did you shit yourself?
I
Keith?
got my blood work today, so I'll know tomorrow where my A1C numbers are.
Nice.
The Keebler Elf and Jeffrey Epstein, never in the same place at the same time. Discuss.
Wait, are you talking about like that jackass that started? Was he Attorney General?
No.
Okay.
God damn it.
God, where did that go? Where the fuck did that go?
Never
you
mind.
just ask if the
Just
Keebler
never
was the
mind.
Attorney
Don got the
General.
reference. For anyone out there, I'll explain it all.
All right. Well, you know what?
Don, did you like Treat Me Well? Don?
It kind of just repeated. It kind of just repeated. Like again, at this point, it was kind of bleeding into another song. I felt like
If you watch the Terry Kath documentary about Chicago on Amazon Prime, which I love Terry Kath Chicago.
I do too.
And then 80s Chicago a whole lot, and then not so much the rest.
Terry Kath Chicago's my favorite.
And Christmas. But
what?
On at the compound recording studio they built in the woods in wilderness in Colorado, they had a line of tape that they just got bumps off of. The line of tape at the studio in Seattle says Zeppelin 3 only, and that's this track again. Tangerine, treat me well. We're just copying shit with no originality. This
is unplugged Fever Dog.
This is so bad. These next
Fever Dog unplugged.
These are so
Fever
bad.
Dog is kind of Tangerine.
That's true. No, it's the other one, the Bad Company one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
whatever.
Get Fever Dogged, Nick.
Say hello. To quote Don, everything is bleeding into each other. These like 4 songs, it just feels like one song and not like movements in an orchestra, but it just feels like they tried so hard to write a record that's not Magazine, and they should have taken some things from Magazine. Moving on.
Not much. I mean, fuck.
I mean, it would have been better than the same song 6 times in a row.
Okay.
I don't know.
Say hello.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Oh, I've been saying no. This is one of the. So again, I've enjoyed this album from Barracuda on. Treat Me Well kind of slowed that down, and then all of a sudden, Say Hello. The note I have is that it sounds like a Partridge Family or Monkees jam. Like it totally got like Cold Gems 60s pop sounding, and I thought that it sounded disingenuous to what they were already setting themselves up for. So I give that one a 1 out of 10.
Fair. Is it safe to say that maybe staying with Flicker for the 3rd record in a row, despite Barracuda and Kick It Out and Little Queen and Love Alive, is having diminishing returns?
And Magic Man.
Because Magic Man is not on this record.
I know, but I like it.
I love it, but it's not on this record. It's 2 records.
Diminishing returns, absolutely 100%. Because you know what he's not doing? He's not telling them no.
Yeah, well.
The most important thing.
The worst thing they did was succeed. The million to one shot.
The best thing a producer can do, the most important thing a producer does, is look a million seller in the eyes and say,
"This ain't good enough."
No,
this ain't good. Yeah.
You know, Kirk Hammett quoted Bob Rock saying, "Typical day in the studio with Bob Rock. I'm sitting there, I'm playing guitar. I lay down the take and I put my guitar down and I'm feeling good about myself." And Bob looks at me and he goes, "Really?
Yeah, but he stopped doing that too.
Do you really want to put that on an album?"
He only did that with Kirk. He did not do that enough with.
Yeah, he should have done that a whole hell of a lot, including looking in the fucking mirror with Saint Anger.
Burn, dude.
Cry to me. I'm sorry. I liked the Battle of Evermore better.
Exactly.
When it was the Battle of Evermore.
That was my notes, Battle of Evermore too.
I mean, I liked it better when I saw Hart play the Battle of Evermore.
Yes.
And that brought me to tears. And this brought me to I Hate You.
They've been covering. Well, I don't know about hate is a very strong word.
That figure of speech. Calm down.
Don, cry to me.
My note says, sounds like a song about citrus.
All right. All right.
I mean, it really just sounds like one of those like
regular citrus or squeezed
tangerine,
citrus.
lemons. Like yes, yeah.
Who's
I don't
the
know.
citrus lady that died this year. Thankfully,
What?
the hateful citrus lady.
The hateful citrus lady. Who is
Yeah,
that?
Hateful
Google
citrus.
hateful citrus lady.
Now I want to write a song called "Hateful Citrus Lady."
Man, we're coming up with all the
hateful
best.
Florida oranges lady.
We're coming up with all the best like album titles today.
Nick,
Hateful citrus.
Hey, who are you talking about, Keith? Because now I
This is my band, Painful Citrus. So the rule, Don, because you're new here, is you mute yourself and you rat-a-tat-tat and look it up while Nick and I bullshit. Since it's my turn, this would be a good time for you to mute yourself and look it up while I talk about how lame Cry to Me is.
I'm gonna hit my button. Muted.
Cry to Me makes me want to cry. This sucks. These bunch of songs are not good. Again, if you wrote a Barracuda and even a Little Queen, you have now a bar you have set. I'm not saying they can all be Barracuda or Little Queen, but help me help you, Mike Flicker.
Maybe write a song called Piranha.
No, Exodus did that later.
Oh, they could have done it sooner.
They could have. Don, do you have the...
I love the fucking internet because I typed in evil citrus orange juice lady who died. And it came up that it was Anita Bryant.
Yes, Anita Bryant from
It
Florida.
gave me an answer
The
from
Christian
that.
homophobic asshole.
I love the fucking internet.
I blocked her name out, but then I...
Alrighty, let's go ahead and finish this.
Wait, hold on real quick. The AI also says, however, it is also crucial to note that evil is subjective.
This is why AI is dumb.
Are we done with evil citrus ladies?
Songs about citrus.
I wish the Terminator came back in time and killed her. Go ahead.
Let's finish this up with Go On and Cry, which is I think what we're doing. Side 2 is kind of a flubber for me. It's just they keep trying to do the same thing, which is not the best thing. And if you're going to keep trying to do the same thing, do the best thing, Don.
So I actually love this song. I think the song is actually really it's kind of like the epic jam of the album. I thought it had kind of a psych rock element to it, a little bit of stoner rock to it. And the other thing too is it also does seem like there's a little bit of, I was gonna say pre-cum. I don't know why I was gonna say I can't remember. Anyway, it was a little bit of foreshadowing. Thank you. A little bit of foreshadowing
Foreskin?
of what was to come. Foreskin Gump? Was it in 87?
I've seen that movie, Foreskin Gump, by the way. It's pretty
Foreskin Gump.
Mama said life is like a foreskin. Go ahead.
Okay,
you ever seen Jurassic Pork?
Stop.
That's a good one too, man. Flesh Gordon. That was a classic too. Anyway,
Hawkman Muff Dive. All right, we'll stop now because
gentlemen,
he himself
in #87, Hart put out an album called Bad Animals, and the title track, Bad Animals, which is, in my opinion, one of their best later era songs, kind of had this vibe from this. So I thought it was a little bit of foreshadowing of what was to come. I thought it was a great closer. It was epic. It was fun, like just a mellow out. I could have used it to follow more rocking songs. Like I felt like it was the side 2 just went down, and then it ended in the pool of this song, which I like, but I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Keefy?
Meh. Big meh to close the record.
That's kind of how I feel about this whole album.
I don't know that sequencing could have helped this any better.
Nope.
Barracuda is incredible and carries the whole thing.
Yep.
But again, if you wrote a Barracuda and even a Little Queen, you have set I will say it again, you have set the bar kind of high, and you'd be like, the rest of these songs are significantly worse than those two. Let's keep working on these.
What's that Van Halen record with their best song?
Jump?
No.
Unchained.
Oh, don't say that.
Unchained, yes, Unchained. What's that one?
Oh, is that Women and Children First? No. Fair Warning. Fair Warning
is my favorite.
Yeah. That album is a 10 of 10. even though only one of those songs was really any good.
Is a 10? Yeah, that's fair. It's not unfair. I mean, it's a
It's
pretty
amazing
great
how a
record.
song can be that fucking good that it
That's-
can actually
This is
cover
that
for a whole
record.
album.
By the way, I
this
just wanna
this
say,
is that record. Yes.
I would
Yeah.
like to just add that looking at the Wikipedia page, which we know not to do, but the rankings of professional music scores, all music gives this record a 4.5 stars. Y'all are on drugs. I would never trust a thing from them.
Can I ask what brand of beer they're drinking?
They're not drinking beer, bro. They're drinking absolute grain alcohol with Kitty Dukakis.
What
so
strain are they smoking?
So they're living Dr. Strangelove, and they're about to attack the United States because they've had that much to drink. Okay, fair enough.
Joe Rogan, but all music smokes crack rocks.
This record it's their attempt, and like so hard they want to be Led Zeppelin 2.5, leaning towards 3. Little Queen, Barracuda, that's Led Zeppelin 2-ish, and then the rest of it is Led Zeppelin 3-ish, but they didn't get it. They parodied it. This is not a homage. This is a parody. And as an album, it's just not great. We're looking at another band who has put out some amazing bangers, and if you go see them live, you're going to be living down in Bangertown for 90 minutes to 3 hours. However, if you listen to records back to back to back to back, Magazine does exist. Don?
So obviously, of the three of us, I'm probably the one that really liked this album quite a bit. I mean, like I said, it did get a little samey at times, but this also reminds me of how like we all three of us, we love bands that sometimes bands put out an album that might leave a fan base kind of scratching their heads. And at the same time, other fans might be like, oh, this is cool. I can dig this. This is something a little more off kilter than what I was expecting. I like this album for being a psychedelic folk rock album. I don't know that it's almost like I would say it's like a folk rock album that leans heavier on rock. It is a little heavy on the Zeppelin influence, but the songwriting is there. The songwriting is there in a way that it wasn't there for Magazine.
Yeah, Nick, if you interrupt
So-
Don's point with a sound effect from your mouth, the camera shows you looking like a dumbass, right? You know that, right? You defeat the purpose of Don getting a
I think he was sucking a
Final
micro
point.
penis.
I was trying to make a pot noise. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, then smoke pot, and then you can make the noise.
How would you know?
Hey,
What a pot
hey,
noise is.
you don't know what I used to do.
Boom, boom! Welcome home.
Don, are you satisfied with your final point?
I'm satisfied with it, and I'll be honest, I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I would give
That's
this record. I'd give this record a 7 out of 10 because of Barracuda.
Yeah,
And
I was going to
everything-
say 7 out of 10 is a very fair
because
score for this record.
Barracuda.
Yeah, Barracuda.
Also, can we
Barracuda's
just-
so good.
Can we just give thanks and hail to these additional credits, or have some incredibly named people? I wish I was friends with backing vocalist Lynn Wilson Kegel. The other
Exercises.
backing vocalist is Seal Dunnigan, not to be confused with Seal.
Dunnington.
Whatever.
These are amazing.
Buzz
Dunnington
Richmond.
is like my favorite name ever now.
Buzz Richmond. Winslow Cuts. These names sound made up completely.
That
Like,
is
these
my
guys are
favorite.
running
that
from
is
the
my
fucking
new-
cops.
That is
The-
my
the
new
studio
favorite
crew
name.
that Flickr brought in. They're running from the fucking cops.
What do they call you, kid? Winslow Cuts.
Literally, like looked under a cup. Kaiser
look.
Soze. Like
They wanted to make sure they didn't get arrested for fleeing the draft.
Exactly. Oh, that's true.
they snuck
This is
back in.
actually the members of Heart. With just
This is like Andor. My name is Gino Fartzapaz,
What's
not
your
Cassian
name?
Andor.
Wait! I can have a porn name. Then my name is Pete Jones. What? Lester the Molester Cockin stuff.
My name is Steve.
I'm pretty sure Muse made that up on the fucking spot.
Okay. Anything else to say, Keefy,
I've
right
got
now?
nothing else to say. Nick, take us home. Heart number 4 next week. Stay tuned. Go ahead.
Alrighty. All in all, so far, Hart has put out some bangers, put out some slangers. It is what it is. But we're gonna finish this series hard next week with a record, and I forget the name of it. Whatever it is. Anyway, Don, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to interrupt you and slap you in the face, call you a bitch, because I know you love it.
Dog and butter.
Well, you know what? Like you
Stop talking, Doug.
Talk dirty to me.
Stop talking, Doug. Keefy, as always.
I'm out of here.
I'm making a beeline. That was the third Doug. That was Doug's son.
I'll be your Doug.
I'll be your
Hey,
Huckleberry.
watch that
Anyway,
Black Doug shit, man. Come on. That's not our Doug. That Doug is a black.
like to say on Reddit, ask
20
me
years, that
anything.
movie is
Thank
20
you,
years old.
everybody, for joining us. I'm hoping my friends here mute themselves so I can finish whatever the hell it is and come up to an idea of what I'm trying to say. I'm getting text messages to get the fuck out of here. Keefy, thank you. People, thank you. Like, subscribe, slap us in the ass, call us a bitch like we're Terrence and Phillip, because we love that shit. As always, this is the Glacial Musical Podcast. It does not play in Peoria, so fuck them.